Okay, so today, I need you to believe, and I want you to put all your things down because we are using the direct translation approach because I know that you are now in second year, so I know that you are enough to comprehend the topic and you are enough to understand what our discussion here. So we are using the direct translation approach. We are directly telling you and discussing you our topic for today. So, hindi lang yung magdadali, abot. So, I want you to awaken your mind. Get it?
Yes.
And so, we are done with the elements of grammar. So now, let's proceed to the language of prose. So anyone, isa'y makahatag ng definition of this prose. But suddenly, I will call those who will raise your hands so many times. And last kita, so pausta. What do you want to cross? Continue, I will not bite you. Okay, thank you, Pausta. So, our topic is the language of prose, which is the language of literature. So, is the prose is part of literature, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So, what is prose?
It is an ordinary writing.
It's a type of literature. Now, poetry and prose is the same or not? Why? Richie Ann, why? Can you distinguish between the two, between the prose and the poetry? Okay, thank you, Richie Ann. So you have the point. So, ako na lang makatapukan sa prose because si kanina tao na nakita na tao si prose. So prose is a kind of literature. So poetry pa is we have the rhyme, the rhythmic pattern, the alliteration, we have the figurative languages used. Here in the prose, it's like a verse. Wala siya metrical pattern. You are just like narrating. You are just like writing an essay. But at the same time, you are encouraging the readers interest and able to read that verse. But that is still a part of a literature. So I want you to get 2 pieces of 1/4. Go. 2 pieces of 1/4. 1/4 sheet of paper. Except for the videographer, so the videographer is exempted for this. Faster! Time is running. Yes! Yung kahit na 1/4, halangay, suwag sa likod. Basta 1/4 siya na ikasulong. Okay, faster! Halika, order! Masura, order! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So don't be pressuring yourself, but this is a pressure activity at the same time. Because it is just what we call that a motivational activity for you to engage and awaken your mind here in our discussion. So now, relating to the language comprehension, which is the proso, we are also talking about the vocabulary in the dictionary. So now, with your paper and your pen in your answer, so I want you to write some vocabulary words, any words, but I have a time limit, so this will test you on how much word you will get in this new time, which is only 1 minute. No, don't start. I will say start. Please listen to the direction. Okay, pens up. Pens up. If I will say go, so you can start. So again, you can write any word in English that have description in the dictionary. Any word, as faster as you can, as much as you can. Any word.
What meaning?
Sama guys, okay. Ready, start, go. This will test your mind. After 1 minute, I will say stop. You will all Fifty-five seconds left. Okay, stop. Hands up. Change your paper to your segment and then write a signature after the last word you write. Please write a signature. The segment will sign a signature. And then, I want you to count the number of words that you submit written of how much and how many it is. Okay, did someone got 20 words? How about 30? My instruction is just only a word. Okay, dili ka tayo. Pila ang highest na ako ang word na ako ka? 57? Dili ka tayo. 27? Okay, stop. The highest written vocabulary in your 1 word will be accepted in the test. Okay, Berlinta na highest score. Stephanie. Make sure na sa inyo pag-check sa mga word na alam sa dictionary. Okay, so Stephanie got the highest vocabulary, so 36. language of cross should the words that have meanings in the vocabulary or in the dictionary. So, it means that ang cross is, ang language of cross is nasa literature which is, it can be maybe wala siya kuan, wala siya kanang kuan, real definition because the definition here for the language of literature and we are talking about the language of cross is, especially sa fiction is, ang cross is nasa mga literary words which is difficult and hard to understand, like idiom. Yes. Like for example, I will give you an example. I am so hungry that I could finish a cow. Diba? So, is there any sa dictionary I could finish a cow? So, it will literally mean that piyang bigkaon ang baka o burot. But, kung ako siya Tagalog, meaning is, yes, very hungry. Yes. And the prose and the poetry is have na sila pagkakalinga because of the words that used. But ang ilang kalahian is because of the the features because the rhythmic pattern lang ito mga figurative languages na gigamit sa poetry ay and then sa prose is it's your own na wala na nagamaw kasi nala na siya and then here it is difficult to categorically point out what the language of literature is. So there is no such thing as literary language. This implies that there are no items of modern English vocabulary grammar that are inherent in literary. So ikaw, kung magamagama ka o mga idiom diha, mga words nimo nga, feeling mo na matagal mong meaning, so you can apply that in the prose or in the poetry, but it has no meaning in the dictionary. So the statement here is, there are no items of modern English vocabulary grammar that are inherently existently literary. So, but hindi siya tanan because when we are going, di ba sa poem, when we are comprehend the poem, there is a hidden meaning every word in the poem. Yes, it depends on your own interpretation. But that interpretation, not literally means na mugawas, how na siya na sa vocabulary. Because ang word na gigamit anak and ang sa kuhan is when we are simply define it, so siyempre, mugawas sa dictionary, but we are talking about the literature, so we have a different interpretation. So mga na naka-unique sa language of prose. So now, the linguistic checklist for prose, India, the floor is yours.
Let's read once again. The next is the linguistic checklist. So in one that is your own opinion, what is the linguistic checklist from Ross? Yes, Almera. Linguistic checklist. Okay, thank you. So a linguistic checklist for prose is a set of guidelines or considerations that help in structuring and evaluating prose from a linguistic perspective. So the main function of a linguistic prose is when you are writing an analysis coming from a reading story, of novels, short story. The linguistic checklist here is used for checking the vocabulary that is hard for you to comprehend or to understand. So especially from the novel, diba na ay difficult words na you have wala pa rin yung encounter, so it gives, so you can write it down, this vocabulary, and make it a checklist to replacing or searching them simpler terminologies of that words to help you understand the outline because mostly if it is not a full words, it is hard to understand, right? So the main purpose of a linguistic checklist in a linguistic is to ensure the clarity, consistency, and effectiveness of communication. From the word itself, checklist is the list of things to be checked or to be done. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, next is the I narrator or the first person. So, anyone can tell me what is your idea about the first person? Anyone?
So, the first person or first person point of view is all about someone is directly telling a story that uses a pronoun I.
I narrator or the main character telling the story. So the person who tells the story may also be a character, the fictional word in the story after that event. So when the narrator refers himself or herself in the story, the first person use the pronoun I or the first person. So again, anyone can give me an example of the story that I got of first person. Yes. Yes.
How my brother Leon brought a wife.
Yes, very good.
I brought a wife.
So give the main narrator.
Si Baldo, also the main character in the story.
Yes, very good. So since the narrator is the character looking back to events, but often representing them as if they were happening the first time. So first person are said to be the event because they don't look at they don't know all the facts or they trick the reader by withholding information or telling the truth. So unlike the third person omniscient POV, the narrator knows everything or knows everything what happened or what happened. So always remember that in first person or the I narrator is not only use the pronoun I, but also use yes, me, mine,
Myself.
so first person narrative is where the story is narrated by one character at a time. So the character may be speaking about he herself, showing events that he or she is experiencing. So there are many different ways that an author may use first person narrator. So there may be an interior monologue. So it's an inner voice or stream of consciousness. And also dramatic monologue, a poetic form where a speaker reveals himself or herself. Good afternoon, class. So let's proceed to another part of the language of prose, which is very familiar in which is the third person narrator or third person. So because you have already the high knowledge, so can I ask somebody who can give their ideas about what is third person or third person narrator?
We have 3 parts of third person.
Okay, Alera.
The third person.
Very good. So, the third person is someone who tells the story outside the event. So, it is the third person is the author who's narrating the story. So, he is the one of the characters. And then third person narrator use pronouns which are sa ditong mga pronouns na gamit sa third person. They, them, or he or she, and it. So those are the pronouns that are used in the third person. So before the third person, we have the first person narrator that was talked about by Maria Banes. So when we say first person, for us to differentiate the third person narrator and the first person narrator. So ang third person is narrator is the characters. But the first person narrator, he or she is the one who narrates the story and one of the characters. So mo na ang differences of the third person and the first person narrator. So the third person narrator has two types. So naay two types sa third person narrator. So I know also that we are all familiar with this because we already tackled about it to other subjects. So what are those two types of third person narrator? Okay, and we need to third person edition of third person. Yes, very good. So the two types of the third person narrator are the third person omniscient and the third person related. So when we say third person omniscient, so that is the author knows everything. Every characters, the author knows the emotions, the thoughts, the feelings of every characters in the story. So he gives the hints of the what future or what would be and what would happen in the story. So everything that na sa story is knows and kabalo ang author. So now narrator. Well, the third person limited from the word limited. So the author or the narrator only focuses on one character. So the main character. So if the narrator only focuses on the main character until the end, then the main character nakakaibaw siya sa emotions, the thoughts, the feelings, or even the events or the situation or the experiences of the main character or the one who focuses on the narrator. So that are the two types of the third person. So that's
So good afternoon, everyone. So before we proceed our topic, which is license, so I want someone to have idea or opinion what is license.
Go po.
Okay, so Michael, what is
function of some words, such as definite articles and legislative post-denotation changes from discourse to another.
Thank you, Michael. So, digest as refers to a word or phrase that shows time, place, situation, a speaker when talking, or digest is a pointing by way of language or dialect expression. And dialects they typically include pronouns, adverbs such as I, you, here, and there, and tend to be used mostly when the content is known to both speaker and the person spoken to. So I have example of this. So last week I flew over there for a quick visit. So in this sentence, last week I and there are the dices because it's referring to the type, speaker, and place. So I have traditional types of license, which is the personal license first. So it relates to the speaker or the person spoken to who. It's also essential in communication as it helps to identify who is speaking, who is being addressed, and who is being referred to. And temporal license. That is refers to the use of language and
and also invokes the user's vital markers and positions to indicate the location of the subject or the space. When we can identify the different types of lexes by so you all know what are those traditional types of lexes. So I want someone to identify this example. Okay, Gmar. So, i-identify if personal license, temporal, and vital. So, kani nga sentence I wish you've been here yesterday. So, what are the personal licenses? I wish you've been here yesterday. I didn't remember. I didn't i-identify na yun as a personal sentence.
Plan. I.
Temporal. Uy! Temporal. Asa. I wish you'd been here yesterday. Temporal. Time. So when you say temporal, it's time.
Plan.
I wish you'd been here yesterday. Temporal is time. Time. Again, temporal is the time and personal and
Yesterday. Yesterday. Saan ka spital? Here. Hoy. 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 Yes. Back.
So good afternoon, everyone. So I'm sorry. Good afternoon. The second linguistic indication of point of view is the given versus the new information. Linguists make a distinction between what they call given and new information. So in terms of how information is arranged by speakers, if you want to refer to something which is not already known to your addressee, you will typically use indefinite reference. So what is indefinite reference, by the way?
Wala ka humanang referensya.
Okay, good. Let's get on to Christian. The indefinite article A is used to refer to something new, like something we don't yet know about. For example, I saw a man. The man is unknown to the hearer, but if I say the man is my friend's father, the man in this example is known to the hearer. So
Yes.
yeah, so whereas if what you want to refer to it to is already known to your addressee, you will use the definite reference. So in other words, you take addressee's point of view into account. The definite article the is given because both of the speaker and the hearer have some background information about the man, unlike in the sentence, the first sentence, which is the A. It follows that the is used to describe general information. Many modern novels and stories begin with a different infinite reference, even though in the theory we should not. This technique, positioning readers as already in the know, even though they are not really. It's one aspect of technique which has come to be called as medias res. It is a Latin point to the middle of things, which helps us feel intimately involved with what is going on at the beginning of the story.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So I am and I am here. And I am tasked to tackle you about foregrounding. So before I start, I have something here. Kasi nakita niyo sa picture.
Houses. Buildings. Trees. Tanod.
Village, culture, city, infrastructure,
Growing houses. The background is mahit.
from small to
Yeah, very good. Attractive. So
Very
today,
good job. Daily.
So today, I'm going to talk to you about foregrounding. This picture, this is a house in San Francisco.
Oh.
So they are foregrounded because why? What do you mean by foregrounded?
Papansin.
Papansin. Walang
Orang si Claudia. Yes.
So this is foregrounded because first, this is larger. Dako siya. Kuma nang makita siya tayo because dako siya.
Right.
And then, secondly, this is very colorful.
Yes.
Colorful siya.
What is that very
And
cool?
then, for pattern by repetition.
Yeah.
So foregrounded is
Yeah.
to give a particular importance to something. It is to highlight or to emphasize or to call attention of something.
Yeah.
Yes. So foregrounding in prose, it is an action emphasizing to catch the reader's attention, used to emphasize ideas over others, and it is a linguistic strategy of calling attention to certain language features to shift readers from what it is said and how it is said. So, how can we, ano itong pakakwanta nga from foregrounding siya aning ng language prose?
If maka-attract siya mga sako.
Next yan, din unsa nga way.
By using idiomatic expressions, symbolisms, or something na maka-attract.
Stand up.
So best way to kanang to have a foregrounding sentences or in a prose by using idiomatic expression which can kanang convey or can makuha ng interest sa tao mga o to catch the attention of each readers.
Okay, give a hand to very good, Derek. So, the author, they use the sounds or words to catch the reader's attention. Like, for example, as what Derek said, like, it uses dramatic expressions, minor anas, yeah. And once naay ka lang, for example, sa mga kanta, ni Terror, nag-group kayo. Though, naiuban mo, deviation nga may lang. It is because gusto na nila mag-catch ang ilang ang kanang people's attention and research. Guys. So if we use metaphorical words or mga idioms to catch the reader's attention. And I think that will be all.
It is clear that
linguistic checklist for prose. So when you are writing or when you are reading a prose, so you need to have a checklist. So what is the importance of this checklist? So the checklist is when you find difficult words or idiomatic expressions like that, so you will write it down and then nasa the attributes na given versus new information. So, ang gagawin mong libutan sa mga checklist ng mga words is what the given information sa prose is you will replace it with a new information so that makasabot ka sa content sa prose. And the next here is nasa I narrator and the third person narrator. This is just a viewpoint on the who tells the prose. And the next is the prose is just like a story. Yes, just like a story. It's like something like moral verse because yes, muna yung distinction nila sa poetry. Because poetry, nasa paano nga stanzas, lines, yes, sometimes nasa mga rhyme, meters, yes. And then, next is the foregrounding that was discussed by Richie Ann. So, that's all. And then, so, ang katong yung usa ka one more, so, you have one word, diba? Napana ka sa inyong lang isa. So, answer this in just 3 minutes and pass it after because we all want you to pass it now because di ganyan makabubuhat ang mga papel. So, this is just for 3 minutes.
Next sentence ang nakapano.
Yes, you can answer it in paragraph 4 or as much as you have understood. So answer directly. So please listen to the question. So the question is, how do you think the language of prose will be different from that of poetry? So in short, how do you what is the difference between the language of prose from the poetry? Para lang, what is the difference between prose and poetry? Sarah? Prose and poetry. As the funny pili na kama-answer tayo.
Kamu nga robot mo. Unsa mga group prose?
What is the difference between prose and poetry?
Unsa mga group prose? Group 4. Group 4?
Or four? Sarah, question.
Okay, pass. Pass na na. Pass na pass. Pass all the papers. Forward.
Laway dito rin.
Sana nagtas na First, duha. Duha? So, si William by this course. Master paper and concurrent. Bakit kami pa niya?
1 minute left.
Sa mga naka.